What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Havoc Sports Podcast. It is just me today for episode 28. Um, Harry has some things going on, but we're going to keep it rolling. And I found an interesting idea for an episode, which is to look back on the 2024 draft and give a grade and a little bit of thought into each pick and see what they're doing now and how I think they're doing. So that's what we're going to do. And it might be a little bit longer, so we're just going to dive right into it. Pick 1, Chicago Bears took Caleb Williams. I think a lot of issues are happening in the Bears organization. That's not just Caleb Williams. That offensive line is terrible, so you have to factor in some things to his performance. And overall, he's really not performing terrible. Chicago just is killing quarterbacks, so nothing new there. I gave the grade a B+ because I still think Caleb has moments where he shines. He just needs an offensive line, and he desperately needs coaching help. They're just down bad in the coaching department. So not much to say there. Really not much to say for the first couple picks here. Number 2, the Washington Commanders took Jayden Daniels. I gave this an A+. When I look at his performance on the season and what he's doing as a rookie, he just stands out amongst the rest. And to flip a team that was down so bad and doing terrible, no one really even knew who the Washington Commanders were, to flipping it to now where they're a potential playoff team. They're just rolling. He's revived Terry McLaurin's career. And he has that team built up with so much confidence right now. This is definitely an A+ pick. Number 3, this might be a little biased, and to those who think so, I really don't care. Patriots took Drake May with the 3rd selection. I gave this grade an A-. Drake May, outside of Christian Gonzalez, has been the only bright spot for the New England Patriots this year. He's shown time and time again that he can play like a veteran, and he's 20 years old. He obviously is making rookie mistakes. He is a rookie. He's going to make some rookie mistakes. Some of the mistakes are outside of his control that happen. It seems like almost every game that we play, though we only have a 3-win record, the Patriots are right in it. And that's with a lack of an offensive line and offensive weapons for him to throw to. So Drake May has proven himself. I think still, I said it when we did the mock draft, I think Drake May is the best quarterback in the draft before he went to the Patriots. I still think Drake May will be the best quarterback out of this draft class when it's all said and done. Pick 4. At the time that the draft came out, this was a no-brainer. The Arizona Cardinals took Marvin Harrison Jr. He's really been up and down kind of this year. I have him in fantasy football, and he's just been – there's games where he gives you big games, and there's games where he underperforms. I think he'll clean it up as he goes on in his career. I mean, he's a big, high-point receiver. He's fast. He can outrun. He can outjump. He's just an all-around great player. I gave him a B+. There's still room to grow for him, and I don't think he's – the best receiver out of the draft this year. Granted, small sample size to go off of, just a year, but I think he's having an okay season. Nothing crazy, but he's not having a bad season either. Number 5, the Chargers take Joe Alt. I gave this one a B+ as well. I think Joe Alt's been a pretty good player for the Chargers. They needed line. They needed receiver. Marvin Harrison went off the board, and they were between Malik Neighbors and Joe Alt, and they shocked everybody and took Joe Alt, and it's paid off for them. I mean, they've given Justin Herbert some good protection for a little while now, and, even with the lack of receivers, they have Ladd McConkey, but they've been playing really well. They've been primarily a run offense before J.K. Dobbins got hurt, and that was really playing out well for them, and that's what's led to a lot of their success, just running the ball behind these linemen. So he gets a B+. Still plenty of room to grow. He's a rookie again, so I think it's a very solid pick, and he will be with not San Diego, but the LA Chargers for many years to come. So, number 6, Malik Neighbors, New York Giants. I gave this an A. This was a pick that looked like it was going to be an A++. He was hitting strides. He was doing all for the New York Giants. For a stretch there, it was just Malik Neighbors. Even with the lack of quarterback talent, Malik Neighbors was performing and performing and performing. Then he got a concussion, and now they don't know how to use him in the offense. So I'm sure come the next draft, I think they'll be taking a quarterback, working young with young. They will find a way to get Malik Neighbors back in, but this is still an A pick. Malik Neighbors was phenomenal throughout the season. He's still a phenomenal player. Great pick for them, and they got to sit and wait for this guy to fall into their lap. Number 7, the Tennessee Titans. J.C. Latham. I gave it a B-. I think the Titans stink. I think the quarterback play stinks. I think the wide receivers stink. Everything about Tennessee stinks, and that's not J.C. Latham's fault. The tackle out of Alabama, he's an all-right player. Nothing crazy, nothing bad, right? So he's right in that C to B category, so I give him a B-. Some players I won't grade for certain reasons, and this one I went ahead and graded. The Falcons taking Michael Penix Jr., and I gave it an F for now. And the reason is Michael Penix hasn't played a game yet. Now, he will be playing by the time this comes out. He will be starting on Sunday. So this grade could change. I don't want Falcons fans, if there are Falcons fans that watch this episode, to think I'm just bashing the Falcons. The reason they got an F is because he has not been utilized yet. You could technically say that this is an NA. He hasn't played. We haven't seen anything. It was a waste of a pick at 8 as it stands now. Now, if we see him play and things change, his grade could definitely change. But we will see. Pick 9, Chicago, back up. And they took Rome Odunze to pair with Caleb Williams. And Harry did not like this pick. He wanted Dallas Turner, who we will get into a little bit later. This is an okay pick. I don't think Keenan Allen's going to stay, so you're going to need someone to fill that void, and Keenan Allen's been playing very well for the past couple weeks. So I think Rome Odunze's shown flashes of what he can do and the potential that he has, but the inconsistency's definitely been there. So we will see. I gave it a B because he hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been great either. Just kind of a average pick. Number 10, the Vikings. I'm not going to talk too much detail. J.J. McCarthy. This was very exciting for the Vikings, and then he got a season-ending surgery. So I don't have a grade for that. We will see what he looks like in the future if he gets the chance. Sam Darnold has been playing phenomenal, but you can't grade something based on injury. So, number 11, the New York Jets take Olu Fashanu. This was one of the top linemen that we thought was going to go much higher early on in the season. Started to fall back a little bit, and I gave it a C grade. That team is, I don't know what's going on. They have all the talent in the world to succeed on both sides of the football, and they just can't do it. Very average team. They should not be as bad as they are. They should have at least an average record, but they don't even have that. So I'm going to throw him in there. He's got a lot of work to do, developmental, but we'll see how it goes. So, number 12, the Denver Broncos take Bo Nix, and this was a crazy pick because I said it multiple times. I'm guilty. A lot of people did that. Bo Nix was not a first-round quarterback. Bo Nix and Michael Penix were not even supposed to go anywhere near the first round, and they go in the top 12. And Bo Nix has been great. He's shown that veteran side, and he is older for a quarterback to get drafted, but he's come in and he's turned the Broncos around. Still not a great record against winning teams, but you're winning the games that you should be winning, right? And that's what's giving them a chance to get into the playoffs. I give this pick an A. I think he's settled in well. I think with Sean Payton, things are only going to trend upwards for him. and the Broncos. Great pick. Great team. That defense is really helping him. Takes a lot of the pressure off. If he can just clean up some of the throws, I think he'll be around for a really long time. And so, yeah, that's why he got an A from me. Pick 13, the Raiders. A++. This is the only A++ pick that I graded. Brock Bowers has been so good this year for the Raiders. Lack of quarterback talent, and Brock Bowers is just shining. This man is going to be a great tight end. He may be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. This guy is insane. He is so good. I don't really have much more to say. If you don't know who Brock Bowers is, go watch the Raiders highlights. This guy is nuts. As a rookie, he's an insane talent. A++ for me. Pick 14, the Saints take Fuaga, the tackle from Oregon State. Another pick. We thought this was going to be Olu Fashanu, and he went earlier than expected. And they kind of just took next best tackle on the board. So, yeah, I mean, it's just didn't really necessarily help the team maybe how you hoped it would. Yeah, hopefully you can hit in 2025. 15. Colts take Laiatu Latu from UCLA, edge rusher. I don't think he was the best edge rusher. He's not bad. He hasn't been terrible. I think he has 4 sacks on the season. I gave it a B- grade. He's shown some spots that he can be around, but I don't think he's an edge rusher that's going to change the game, right? He's not a Micah Parsons. He's not a TJ Watt. He's not Myles Garrett. He's okay. He's not bad. Develop him right, and he can be a key piece for the Colts defense going forward. Same for 16. I give this a slightly less grade, but Byron Murphy going to the Seahawks at 16. I gave it a C. He's been average. These players, middle of the pack, they're becoming average players, but they can develop, right? Not every single rookie is going to perform in his rookie year. Some it takes 4 years. Some it takes, 5, 6, 7 years, and then you start to finally see them develop, right? So just because these guys get a lower grade doesn't necessarily mean they can't be better, right? Just because Byron Murphy has been average doesn't mean in a couple years he's not going to be a star. So I gave it a C grade. It's been very meh. Yeah. 17, Vikings take Dallas Turner. This was who we thought was going to be the first defender off the board, and he is bad. He's been very lackluster. I gave it a D- grade. He's not been good. It might just be a case where that Vikings defense is so good that he just kind of gets put in the shadows, but hasn't been great. Bengals, Marius Mims, B-. Needed line, you got to protect Joe Burrow. It's been shown time and time again. When Joe Burrow's in, you have a chance. They have a bad record this year, but Joe Burrow is playing phenomenal. Like, he's in the MVP voting for sure. But when Joe Burrow goes down, that team is done. So get line, protect him. That's what they're doing. He's been good. So B-. You went out for what you needed. You got it, and you got somebody that can play. 19. This was almost for me an A++. Very close. This is probably the second best grade I would say from me. Jared Verse goes 19 to the Rams, and Jared Verse has been phenomenal. A phenomenal player. Somebody that Harry knows very well. He's just been a stud. There's no other way to put it. He has been so good for them. He's giving them that Aaron Donald-esque edge rush that they so desperately need. Obviously, Aaron Donald was a defensive tackle. I know he wasn't an edge rush, but just that rush to pressure the quarterback is so important in this league. And Jared Verse is providing that. and he's doing such a great job of that. So this is an A-plus pick. Jared Verse is going to be a nasty force to be reckoned with for a long time, and I love the pick for him. Pick 20. Oh gosh, I still don't know how to say this name. I haven't heard it enough because pick 20, the Steelers took an offensive tackle from Washington. Troy Fatanua is what I'm going to say. I am so sorry if I butchered that, but not grading it. Season-ending injury. I think he played one game, so I'm not going to give a grade on that. 21, Dolphins take Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson was a very raw player, but he's been a very good player for them. I'm giving it a B. He's fast. He's kind of a mystery because he's just, you don't know what to expect. He's very raw, but he's getting developed properly. So this is very exciting for him. Very upsetting for me that he's in the Patriots division, but he's turning out to be a very good player for them, so I gave it a B. Eagles at 22, Quenya Mitchell, A+. This guy has been shutting it down as a rookie. He's showing that he's going to be one of the top corners for a long time to come. Him and it's not ringing a bell. Cooper DeJean, there we go. Yeah, they're going to be a nasty force for the Eagles for many years, and they're going to be holding it down as the front of that defense. Very good pick. A+ out of them. I also gave an A+ to the Jaguars. You got Brian Thomas Jr. at 23, and he's been a phenomenal wide receiver. He's been a very underrated receiver because he's on a terrible Jags offense, but he is shining. Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, both been bad this year, and he's still shining with them. So this is another A+ pick. Not a lot of explanation needed. This guy's been a stud. Keep it up. 24, Terrion Arnold. This was going to be a debate between Quinyon and Arnold on who was going to be the first corner taken, and Arnold's been kind of lackluster, but that Lions defense has just been so good that he's kind of been able to hide away. I hope he gets back to the guy that he was at Alabama, playing the role that he was. It seems like he's just not himself out there. I gave it a C. He hasn't been terrible. Hasn't been great. Right in the middle. Green Bay Packers, Jordan Morgan. Not going to grade it. Injuries have kind of kept him sidelined. Haven't really gotten a good sample size of him. So I don't know. Haven't seen much about him. We haven't seen him play. So he gets an NA. 26, Buccaneers. Graham Barton from Duke. Center. Great addition. Needed center. You went and got center. He's been great for you. He's been great at protecting Baker Mayfield. I gave this a B+. Late round pick. Took a chance on an offensive lineman, especially a center. Very rare. And it worked out great for you guys. So he's been great for them. Bucks are looking to go back to the playoffs again. Baker's been great. He's had time. That team's it's doing really well. Arizona Cardinals take Darius Robinson. Again, I'm going to give it an NA. I'm not going to grade it. He's playing his first game Sunday, I believe. So we have no sample size again. So I'm just not going to give it a grade. 28, Kansas City Chiefs take Xavier Worthy. And this might be a hot take. He is a C. Xavier Worthy had a lot of hype coming into the season because of speed. And Patrick Mahomes has just done what a good quarterback should, honestly, and has spread the ball around. So we haven't gotten a lot of Xavier Worthy. You've gotten a couple explosive plays that we expected, but I feel like as fans, we expected a lot more from Xavier Worthy to demonstrate that speed. We haven't got it. Not a bad player. A little bit more development. I think he could be really good. 29, Dallas Cowboys. Tyler Guyton. I thought this was a good pick for them. They needed to replace Smith, and they did. The only problem is Guyton is not great. He hasn't been great. It's just not. That whole Dallas team's in shambles right now. I don't know. Injuries are kind of cooking them. But I gave it a D+. Guyton has not been their guy. They need a new tackle. Maybe free agency they can address it. Maybe you can keep trying to develop Guyton. But as it sits right now as a rookie, he's just not that guy. 30. I gave this an original C+, and the Ravens fans would probably kill me. Nate Wiggins, cornerback from Clemson. I gave it a C+. I did not really look into Nate Wiggins, and I started to do some research. I'm going to up this to a B+. Nate Wiggins has been a lockdown for them. He has been really good as a rookie. So, yeah, I mean, he was up there with Christian Gonzalez, with all these other great corners, Jalen Johnson. I mean, this guy, he's a shutdown corner. So, B+. 31, San Francisco 49ers, Ricky Pearsall. And I almost put in A. Start of the season, he gets shot, misses time. Comes in, Brandon Ayuk goes down. We thought this was kind of his big moment to shine, and he hasn't done much. Outside of George Kittle, that offense hasn't done much. So he gets a C from me. I would like to see more of a sample size than what we got this year. I'm excited to see what it looks like going forward. Just don't have a lot of sample, and that team's really, again, outside of George Kittle, they're just not doing much. And finally, pick 32. Panthers trade into the first round and get Xavier Legette. And I gave this a B-. Start of the season, I would have gave it probably a D. Not Xavier Legette's fault, but Bryce Young was bad. So we didn't see much from any of that offense. And then Bryce Young's finally starting to figure out. He gets benched. He comes back. He's figuring it out. Xavier Legette, I think, can be a great receiver for him, someone that he can trust when Adam Thielen leaves. So I'm going to give it a B- for now, but I don't think he's terrible. I'm excited to see what a lot of these young guys can do in the future, into 2025. I'm very excited for them, and I hope that all of them do bump up grades. Obviously, that's just not the way the NFL works, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, I'm sorry it was just me, and if you don't like me and you like Harry Moore, well, I'm sorry. But this has been the Havoc Sports Podcast, episode 28. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I can't wait to see what content we bring to you guys in the future. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. See ya.